Uganda and in all countries that fear revolution through music. However, with your indulgence, Mr. President, I will request you to allow me to just jam with the brothers and sisters in just 2 seconds. And we're going to sing together. This song, I first sang it in Uganda. I'll sing for you the Ugandan version, and together with you we shall edit it to the Zimbabwean version. This is how it goes. Uganda, Uganda, you sleeping mama land. Yeah, just wake up mama land. So now I want us to do it in Zimbabwean style. And here we go. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama land. Yeah, just wake up mama land. One more time, let's sing together. Let's go. Zimbabwe. I can't hear you. One more time. Zimbabwe. You sleeping mama land. Yeah. Just wake up mama land. One more time for Zimbabwe. Let's go. Come on. Zimbabwe. Wow, somebody's touching a guitar. And that's my brother Nubian Lee. Give me that vibe. Na na na, na na na. Yaga yaga yao. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, you sleeping mama land. Wake up mama land. Is somebody hearing me? Zimbabwe, woo! Zimbabwe, sleeping mama land. Wake up mama land. Jamisa we are the continent, the future, the change we badly need. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the youngest population in the world, we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future, and the future is today. If we only come together, we can change our destiny. If we only come together, we can change our destiny. If we only come together, we can change our... Sing along, Zimbabwe. Sing with me now. Zimbabwe is living on my land. Wake up, mama land. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. Woo! 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 Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. You're sleeping, mama. Thank you. I got the next microphone. Let me sing with the president. We are the Zimbabwe. One more time, Mr. President. Zimbabwe. You sleeping, mama land. Wake up, Mama Land. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the youngest population in the world, we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future. Are you feeling it? I say put up your hand if you love Chamisa. Put up your hand if you love Chamisa. Put up your hand if you love MDC.
Wow! Africa! Zimbabwe! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Zimbabwe! Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. What an honor. What a pleasure. What an honor to sing with the president. That's the magic of our generation. That's the beauty of our generation. It is indeed no mistake. Comrade President, Honorable Nelson Chamisa, His Highness King Felix Ndiweni, the leadership of the Movement for Democratic Change, fellow comrades and leaders from different African countries, my comrade and dear brother, the Honorable BOBI WINE, fellow fighters for democracy and freedom, ladies and gentlemen, I bring greetings from Uganda. I bring greetings from your brothers and sisters from the People Power Movement in Uganda. You see, there are only a few times, ladies and gentlemen, when one gets to interact with people from another nation and yet feels so much at home. Today is such a day. I don't just feel at home being in your midst or singing for you. I am actually home. Ndili pamusha pangu. Is that how you say it? Comrades, you are our brothers and sisters in every sense of the word. The historical ties between Uganda and Zimbabwe are so strong. The stories of our two countries are very similar. The struggles of our people are not so different. And yes, the hopes and aspirations of our people are also similar. We share a common heritage, only separated by colonial borders. Just when I landed at the airport yesterday, I met two Zimbabweans, one called Mukasa and another called Mondo, which are very common names in Uganda. Comrades, throughout history, what has united our people most has been confronting a common enemy. Individuals under normal circumstances who never come together have always been forced to unite in the face of a common enemy. For us, brothers and sisters, we are already united by blood. We are united by history and by destiny. But yet again, we are united by a common enemy called dictatorship. We are united by a common mission to confront the monster called dictatorship, the monster that has kept our people down, the monster that has kept our people in bondage, and yes, our desire to free our people from that monster. Friends, what keeps you awake at night is what keeps us awake at night. What hurts you, hurts us. What you celebrate, we celebrate. When you feel pain, we feel pain, because we are one, a people united by God. We are therefore deeply honored and glad to be invited to this Congress of the Movement for Democratic Change in Zimbabwe. Viva MDC, viva! Viva MDC, viva! Let me also take this opportunity to teach you our slang, our slogan, as the People Power movement in Uganda. When I say people power, you say our power. And when I say our power, you say people power. People power, our power. Thank you very much. Friends, we acknowledge your commitment to the freedom of the people of Africa and the citizens of Zimbabwe. I personally want to pay tribute to the founding father of the MDC, the late great leader Morgan Richard Tsvangirai, who I deeply respect. He's a man who we all learn from. I personally can never forget the images I saw on TV of him battered, wounded, his ears oozing with blood, and yet rising up and saying, "No, sir, you have beaten me, but I am not beaten." That was Morgan Tsvangirai. Every day, until he passed on, he woke up to advance the struggle for justice, freedom, and equality. That struggle that he left in your hands, our hands. So we must never betray him. We must always stay true to him and to all the ordinary citizens. Many of them have paid the ultimate price in the struggle for the liberation of our people. May their memory be blessed. While we were disheartened by the loss of President Tsvangirai last year, it was also a great relief that we saw a new breed of leaders who were ready to continue with the great work to push for the democracy, good governance, and rule of law. In particular, I want to thank and pay respect to my brother, Comrade Nelson Chamisa, who stood up courageously and has shaken not only Zimbabwe, but the entire continent of Africa. You, sir, are an inspiration to many of us. We learn from you and we respect you. Your resilience amid these very difficult odds has encouraged many of us on this continent to fight hard for what we believe in at whatever cost, and never, ever to give up. Comrades, the story of many African countries has been a story of unfulfilled hopes and broken dreams. I'm sure that you are all familiar with our history. We all recall how many times our people have dreamt of a new day, only for them to go back into the darkest of the night. We are aware of the disappointments and the betrayals of the hopes that our fathers and mothers have had. So today, we gather here in Zimbabwe, a nation that has witnessed the good, the bad, and the ugly. They've witnessed the sad story of unfulfilled hopes. Decades ago, we as a people, we were colonized. Our fathers and mothers became so tired of colonial rule. They struggled to end it. They demanded for self-governance. They mobilized, they organized, they rallied the masses, and at different times, and in many cases, a very huge cost in terms of lives of our people was paid. But finally, we won our independence. Our fathers and mothers jubilated, and our fathers and mothers indeed burst in song. A new dawn had come upon them, or so they thought. They felt very hopeful that our nations were finally in their own hands. They had the chance to shape their destiny. With colonial rule finally defeated, they were confident because the destiny of their countries were finally in the hands of their sons and daughters. Personally, back home, I'm sure many of you don't know where I got my Christian name. My Christian name is Robert. And my parents gave me that name after a great African leader of that time, one Robert Mugabe. He was a prized revolutionary. And how he descended from the great respected leader that he was to a despised autocrat is a very sad story for our history in Africa. But also it is a big lesson for all of us present today. So comrades, soon after things started to change, only a few years after independence, some unwanted guests started showing up in the politics of our country. Selfishness, greed, mistrust, name them. The new liberators had become the new colonial masters. Mentors quickly descended into tormentors. And yes, freedom fighters became dictators. Many of our countries were quickly brought to their knees. Economies were crushed despite our enormous natural resources. Our people died in unnecessary wars despite our shared heritage. Our men and women lived like paupers in the land of plenty, Africa. In this very nation, which was once called the breadbasket of Africa, images of starving children and children unrest disturbed the conscience of the world. All this was because of bad governance. All this was because of corruption, nepotism, and the greed of our leaders that had decided to become misleaders. Indeed, on several occasions in our African history, most Africans started feeling that they were better off with colonialists other than the crop of leaders that had come up. The dreams and hopes of our grandparents were once again shattered. In Uganda, regime after regime took the reins of power, and at each turn, people jubilated on the streets. They dared to dream again, but at every occasion, the dancing was quickly replaced by the crying just a few days or even months later. In my country, in 1986, a man emerged out of a 5-year-long guerrilla war. That war claimed more than 500,000 lives of our people. That young cattle keeper turned soldier stood on the footsteps of our parliament and promised nothing but a fundamental change in the politics of our country. He promised to preside over a country based on the principles of unity, democracy, equality, and social justice. He said that Africa's problem was not the people, but leaders that overstay in power. As we gather here today, ladies and gentlemen, President Museveni has been in power for 33 years and is showing no sign of quitting. Another betrayal of dreams. I would be repeating myself, ladies and gentlemen, talking about what you people have gone through since you got independence in 1980. Our nations now rank very highly in corruption and unemployment. Poverty levels are through the roof, and all the principles of good governance have indeed been thrown through the window. The new colonizers have been merciless. For lack of a better word, they are gangster. They have colonized the central banks. They've colonized the courts of law. Many times elections are only a sham. Those who organize them have been colonized. They have colonized the police and they've colonized the military. They have enriched themselves while the healthcare system limps and the education system is a shame. Many who have dared to stand up against the new colonizers have been tortured, unlawfully detained, exiled, or even murdered. Most of us here, ladies and gentlemen, are victims of such excesses. The youth who agitate for change have been dismissed as distractors. Well, they are overfed. They won't tolerate anyone whose noise seems to distract them from eating. Our governments have mortgaged our countries to the highest bidder while pretending to be Pan-Africanists. Debts that our children and their children will have to pay, even when the loans acquired are blatantly misused or stolen. As a majority of our citizens are impoverished, those in charge of our affairs continue to enrich themselves and their cronies I do not have enough time, ladies and gentlemen, to mention everything that has gone wrong in Africa. But indeed, such leaders have made Africa a mess. We all know the tragic story of Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, as we gather here in Zimbabwe today, it is okay for us to console ourselves for what has gone wrong. But it's also incumbent upon us to dream again. Friends, we have a responsibility to learn from the past and forge a better destiny for our countries, for our children and our children's children. To understand why the past hopes have been broken, why they've not been fulfilled, and yes, to decide whether we shall be the fulfillment or we shall be another disappointment. Even as we speak right now, some people are skeptical. Once bitten, twice shy. They wonder if we're not promising another false hope. I have personally been telling my people in Uganda not to look at me as the next prophet or the next liberator. I implore all of us, friends, all of us leaders that are present here today, not to see ourselves in that light. Time has come for Africa to dismantle the big man syndrome and build institutions and big ideas. Time has come, friends, for us to put an end to gun power and build people power. Time has come for us to let the citizens of our country to truly determine their destiny. For example, those of Burkina Faso, those of Gambia, those of Algeria, and recently, those of Sudan. Friends, a people united shall never be defeated. I repeat that. A people united shall never be defeated. And I will ask my fellow leaders to repeat after me that a people united will never be defeated. And all of us, friends, let us say, a people united will never be defeated. A people united will never be defeated. Friends, we have seen dictators fall. We have seen entrenched systems dismantled. The young people of Africa are speaking, and we shall amplify their voice because we are one. That should be our struggle. We must help our people realize that they have many times placed their hopes in different so-called liberators, and they have been burnt severely. They cannot rely on anyone anymore. The people must rely on themselves. We are the people. We are the continent. We are the future. And yes, we are the change we badly need. The young, the old, the men and the women, the educated and the uneducated. We have a moral responsibility, friends, to help our people dream again and accept now that we must teach them about what each one must do. Each one must do what they can do, and yes, they must do all they can do. It will not take one leader. It will not take one political party. And yes, it will not take one country to rid Africa of poverty, ignorance, and disease. It will take all of us. Like history shows, friends, whenever Africa has had challenges, whenever Africa in the past has come to the crossroads, patriotic women and men have had to come together. Africa will indeed be free from our new colonizers if we come together continuously. I have never been as hopeful as I am right now. Seeing us come together from different nations of Africa, speaking with one language, freedom for our people, is a big relief in our times. We may be different political ideologies, we may have different strategies or approaches, but like Malcolm X said, our ultimate objective is the same: complete freedom, complete liberty, and complete dignity for our people. And I'm sure